This is a stick vacuum from Dreame, and it comes with a full-sized upholstery attachment. And by the way, that thing's been upgraded. See those fins? They're powered, with suction up to 20,000 pascals. Sounds impressive, and honestly, it looks even better. Looks like the design team went through quite a few cups of coffee picking the color scheme. That gold trim alone is worth a second glance. When guests come over, just say you scored it on sale. The only thing left to find out is how powerful the Dreame R10 really is, and how it handles different surfaces. We'll run it through some tests and answer all those questions in this full Best Robot review. Let's start with what's inside the box. The vacuum comes with the battery already installed. There's a charging adapter included, no extra plug converter needed, a floor brush head, a motorized upholstery tool, which happens to be Rizik's personal favorite, a standard 2-in-1 combo tool, a crevice nozzle with telescopic extension, and a branded, maybe even innovative, vacuum tube. At least that's what the manufacturer wants you to believe. Then there's a basic wall mount, which you can attach with either double-sided tape or drywall anchors, whatever's easier. The manual's multilingual. The set of accessories won't blow your mind, but you've got all the essentials. Most importantly, that furniture attachment is in the box. Considering what you're getting and the specs you see on screen, the price feels fair. The Dreame R10 is really well put together. Vertical dustbin, battery at the bottom, motor up top. Perfectly balanced for one-handed use. The plastic is average quality, but the gold tone tube gives it a nice touch. At least until it starts picking up dust and pet hair. The bin opens from the bottom for quick emptying. Or you can remove and disassemble it entirely. It's a 5-stage filtration system. There's a skirt where larger debris collects, a fine and clean mesh filter, 12 microcyclones that trap dust particles, a fabric membrane, and a HEPA filter, though the class isn't specified, sitting at the motor intake. All filters and separators can be rinsed under the tap. The bin can be wiped down with a cloth. It even includes a lot of metal components. The battery is removable and has a label with detailed info. Freeze the frame if you want to read it. It looks like the R10 was originally designed to work with a dock, judging by the contacts on the battery and the lack of a charging port. That port is only in the vacuum's handle, so no, you can't detach the battery and charge it separately. The handle has no soft touch coating, and ergonomics are pretty standard. You power it on with a single press. No need to keep holding the trigger while you clean. But if you prefer holding it down, just unlock the latch. Though honestly, not sure why you'd bother. A thumb slider lets you control suction power. No auto adjustment here. You'll need to crank it up manually when you hit the dog's favorite rug. There's no display or voice prompts in this unit. You'll be relying on the slider position, motor sound, and battery LEDs. The main brush head has a clear casing so you can see the roller inside. The wheels are mid-sized, perfect for carpeted floors. The wheels are rubberized too, so it should glide quietly over hardwood. The swivel angle is pretty limited, under 90 degrees, and there's no vertical parking. Up front is a big bumper with LED headlights that stick out. They'll probably get in the way when cleaning up against walls. The guide wheels are also placed ahead of the intake and will need to be cleaned after every session. One cool feature, an adjustable front flap. Raise it for large debris, lower it for deep cleaning carpets. Just before the air channel, there are comb teeth to clear hair from the brush. The roller itself is standard, alternating soft and stiff bristles. The second most useful tool here is the motorized furniture brush. It's a familiar build with a swivel frame to ensure good surface contact, but instead of a regular bristle roller, it now has perforated rubber fins. If you know what that's supposed to improve, let us know in the comments. The 2-in-1 combo nozzle is pretty standard. Slide mechanism, stiff bristles, great for cleaning out the car trunk. The crevice tool is more interesting. It's telescopic, so you can reach high corners near the ceiling or get under furniture without breaking your back. All attachments can be connected either through the extension tube or directly into the vacuum port. Just switch the setup based on what you're cleaning. After this first hands-on, the Dreame R10 leaves a solid impression. Clean design, with soft white, beige, and gold tones. The build quality is solid. Locking mechanisms work smoothly, and there's no squeaking. Panel fit is within the norm. The vacuum feels a bit heavy. With the main floor head attached, it weighs about 6 pounds. That's roughly half a pound more than average. But don't worry, your arm won't be aching, because the battery only lasts about 8 minutes on max power, and That's around 50% below the typical runtime. On low power, the manufacturer claims up to 60 minutes. But suction might be weak, so realistically, plan for about 25 minutes on medium. That was enough for me to vacuum an apartment with roughly 860 square feet of usable floor space. As for noise, the Dreame R10 is one of the quietest stick vacuums we've tested in the lab. It's not any louder than a robot vacuum, around 70 to 72 decibels depending on mode. The pitch is on the high side and not exactly pleasant, but the volume is low, so overall cleaning is still comfortable. Now let's talk suction. First, we measured airflow speed. On the lowest setting, the anemometer read just under 50 feet per second. A strong result. On the highest setting, it hit nearly 100. That peak number is about average. Some vacuums push the anemometer past 130. Others can't even break 80. Next up, suction power. We couldn't get a full reading with a digital gauge. The motor's safety shutoff kicks in too fast, but using a mechanical gauge, the needle peaked at 22.5 kilopascals. That's slightly below average, but still above the advertised 20 kilopascals. So overall, I'd rate the Dreame R10's suction as slightly below mid-range. Still, it did just fine in the crevice pickup test. On low power, it pulled debris from grooves up to 0.15-inch gap. In some spots, even 0.25. On medium, it easily handled 0.3-inch gap, and on high, 0.4. So in theory, that should be enough suction for just about any type of flooring. Time to see how it performs in a real-world cleanup. On laminate, using the second power level, it picked up all the mixed debris in just 2 passes. Not perfect, but definitely solid. The only trouble is with larger particles near walls. Just like we suspected, that big front bumper blocks the intake. It's especially noticeable in corners, where the nozzle design leaves a blind zone about 4 inches wide. But when it comes to fine debris, the stuff you're actually dealing with day to day, no issues. There's enough suction to pull in sand and dust even from the edges. For carpet, I switched to max power and got the same good results. Everything was gone in 2 passes except near walls and in corners. If the mess is really bad, you'll want to swap in different attachments. On a thick pile rug, the brush combs through the surface just fine. After 8 passes, it looked clean, but it couldn't pull out tiny debris that had sunk in deep. You'd need a more powerful motor for that. Still, by the end, the dustbin was filled with all sorts of stuff. Grains, sand, hair of all lengths. The turbo brush, surprisingly, came out totally clean. No hairs, no gunk, nothing tangled. Same goes for the support wheels, which I actually expected to be packed with pet hair. Turns out the main floor head doesn't really need much maintenance. The 2-in-1 combo tool is great for cleaning tabletops, especially if you use it without the bristle ring. The crevice nozzle works okay, but I wish the tip was narrower. It doesn't hug baseboards tightly enough, and it's not ideal for cleaning sofas. The upholstery tool, on the other hand, is a beast. It even sounds like a lawnmower. It pulls dust like a champ, but it's not great with hair. Honestly, the old-school bristle brush handled that better. So let's sum things up. The Dreame R10 is a solid mid-range stick vacuum, sitting right at the lower edge of the mid-tier. The design is simple but stylish. Filtration is multi-layered, including a HEPA stage. It runs quietly and packs more power than the specs would suggest. On medium, it cleans tough messes from laminate. On high, it digs deep into thin rugs, but can't quite reach debris buried in high-pile carpets. That said, it does have competition, like the R10 Pro, which we've already tested. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that review. Thanks to everyone who stuck around and gave this video a thumbs up. That's all I've got for now. See you in the next one.